You ready? Welcome to EVO vlog number 9. Today we're going to talk about all the little things. First, I gotta say thanks so much for everyone that reached out to me to help me find some parts to continue this build. Thanks a lot. There's been a lot of little things that I've gotten done since the last vlog. So I got the radiator installed. I got both CV shafts installed. I installed a new clutch line running from the master direct to the slave cylinder. Got that bled out and ready to go. Also installed our serpentine belt with our tensioner pulley. Had to buy a new bolt for the tensioner pulley to get that bolted on. It's a pretty long bolt that goes in there that I didn't happen to have with all these other miscellaneous bolts, so I had to buy a brand new one for that. So we also got our throttle body installed. We ran our intercooler piping. It's kind of just mocked up right now. The intercooler piping isn't actually all completely in place, but I just had to mock it up, make sure it would fit correctly. Got our air intake and mass airflow sensor just kind of sitting in place. So we got the gas tank back up in place and ready to go. Got the high pressure fuel hose reconnected for that. And then as I was putting in the drive shaft back in place, I noticed the old drive shaft bushings were pretty brittle and pretty much falling apart. So ordered some new torque solutions, solid bushings, and put those in place to put the drive shaft back up. Also did a little bit of interior work. We got the back seat back in place now that we're done, hopefully, with putting the fuel system back together. And then I started playing with the front. I got a 3-gauge pod going in where the radio normally is, and I'm relocating the radio down below, underneath kind of where the little cubby is. So I'm putting the radio relocation kit in, which I got, but I do need a radio, which is gonna bring me to basically my questions of the episode. I want to know, what do you actually use for a radio nowadays? I know CD players, no one really does CDs anymore, but I have a single DIN location where I want to probably at least put in something that has Bluetooth so I can just connect my phone. So does anyone have any aftermarket good Bluetooth solutions that they can run in kind of a single DIN slot? And then I started installing some of my gauges. Right now the interior is pretty much a mess, but I got the 3 gauges going in are the E85 content analyzer, a wideband oxygen sensor, and then a boost gauge. So my secondary question of the episode is really, what gauges are you running in your EVO, and what gauges maybe do you wish you had in your EVO? So what's coming up? What's next for this? Well, really all the fluids is going to be a critical thing. It's easy to overlook, but I want to put all new fluids in the transmission, the rear diff, obviously the engine. I also still need a battery. I still need a air filter and adapter. I need to get that in place. I found a downpipe. I got an exhaust downpipe coming, and then I'll probably build the rest from the cat back kind of myself, hopefully, once I get that far. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other little things. I actually want to get new spark plugs, new coil packs, and kind of do that as well. So those are a couple items I'll still be looking for to purchase to get everything together. But it is getting closer. I really do have the itch to get it started up. I mean, all these little things do take a while to get figured out. Just kind of double checking all my wiring too, and double checking all my hoses, and actually just trying to figure out where some of these hoses go and figure out what I need. I'm contemplating deleting my EGR system. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not yet either. So we'll see what I end up doing with all that. Right now I'm really just trying to connect everything back to stock as far as every hose and connector that goes to the intake manifold, but it's a little bit tricky to figure out when you didn't have anything to start with. And in the last episode, I know I asked for your questions for me. I was kind of planning on getting a little creative with a video response to those, but I really didn't get enough questions to kind of have it work the way I wanted. So I just responded to each person directly as far as answering their questions. But if you do have any questions for me, always feel free to type them in the comments section down below. So that's about it for episode 9. Again, this is Paul Ellertson from Boosted Films. As always, appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time. Content, ethanol, gauge, whatever you want to do. Dang it. And E85 content,